Hey Taurus-Geminis, welcome into your Virgo season forecast here at Cusp of Roses. My name is Gabrielle. For anyone new to the channel, welcome in. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back, my loves. And special shout out to all my channel members tuning into this message early and ad-free. I love you all so very much. And I thank you so incredibly much for all your love and support. It truly means the world to me, y'all. It lights up my day, so I thank y'all. And if you want to become a channel member for exclusive viewer perks and bonus readings, you can join at the link in the description box below. All right, but in the meantime and in between time, Taurus-Geminis, let's talk about Virgo season. This was a bit of a complicated message, so bear with me as I'm trying to make sense of it. Hopefully it'll make sense to you, and whatever makes sense to you, whatever resonates, you can always leave that in the comments down below. Y'all know I love to read your comments. You can also use the sanctuary emoji code if you want to keep what resonates private to you, but you want to show that you are here and you are connecting with the message. I love to see that too. But what I was getting for you in my meditation, it seems like there's a divine plan in action right now in your world and in your life. But I don't know that you see it that way or that it translates that way. It could feel very not divine, but it in fact is. I was getting very specifically though that something that you maybe expected out of a situation that was misaligned with you is where someone is kind of like stuck and a little bit hung up, waiting for something to validate a situation that isn't supported by the divine. So I kind of feel like there was a divine, well, I don't want to say was, there is a divine plan. Whether or not, Taurus-Gemini, you've aligned with that divine plan or not is maybe what could be a little fuzzy right now. And just the way I was getting it in the meditation, it kind of felt like there was a misalignment. So expecting divinity to come out of something that isn't aligned with you is where someone is kind of caught up in the moment, okay? And this could have been something that you were at one point. This might be someone who's in this energy connected to you, okay? So always place yourself where it fits for you, your story, your path. You know yourself better than any reader. But someone in this energy connected to Taurus and Gemini is realizing where a divine plan was trying to take them and how maybe far off of that plan they actually are. Or that a choice and a decision and agreement and alignment they stepped into was not a part of a divine plan for them. So there could be that sense of needing to reconcile with that, make peace with that, accept that, which could be the hard part right now. Yeah, something about Virgo season is centered on alignment, which I'm not surprised about, honestly. This is that time of year where people tend to kind of shift gears into getting things done, resurging through old resolutions or goals that were set at the beginning of the year. It's like people start to feel that end of the year pressure start to pick up around this time. So it's almost like someone is stepping into Virgo season recognizing the misalignment, but in a strange way seeing what was aligned at the same time. So there's some sort of distance between what was aligned and where someone is. That's very loud. That contrast is, you can't ignore it, okay? And I do want to say, if you find yourself in that energy, don't beat yourself up. We all have been through that season multiple times over, right? And it's never really too late to realign yourself. It's just the path that you might have to take to get there might look a little different than what you would have done had you been in the original alignment, okay? So it's never too late to really start over or kind of reorient or calibrate yourself. It's just that journey might look a little different than it was intended to, okay? So that seems to be important. There's definitely a lot of faith that has to be activated. in order for someone to get into some sort of alignment. But again, it's not impossible. It just might be a bit trickier, a bit more nuanced, a bit more difficult than someone is ready for or might even fully understand at this moment. High Priestess, I'm confirming something with Temperance again. Okay. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so that's confirmation around the misalignment. But around the fact that you can still find the right alignment, it's just the way to that alignment, the path to that divine plan, I guess, is now a little bit different, a little bit trickier. Okay, clarify. The Page of Rods. But again, I don't know, maybe I'm just, maybe my just natural inclination to be optimistic is showing through this message. Maybe you're not as optimistic about that happening. Maybe that's possibly why I'm giving you this message, to kind of share some of that optimism with you, Taurus-Gemini, so that you don't talk yourself or think yourself into a spiral that isn't necessary. Yeah. Give you some solid ground to stand on. Okay. So that's going to be the theme of this message. Show me, what's that solid ground look like for Taurus-Geminis that might find themselves misaligned? Your self-worth, your Nine of Pentacles. Some of you are going to have to find confidence this season. Yeah, in your ability to work through whatever you need to work through. Start building whatever you need to build within yourself or within your world. Creating whatever you need to create. Which one should go first? Judgment. Okay. Because you are being called into your power, Taurus-Gemini, or there was a path or a particular alignment, yeah, that held wish fulfillment for you. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's kind of the bigger thing here. It's not too late, but I could totally see how it might feel like that. Okay. And maybe it was destined for you to get to this point, to recognize the contrast between what you are connected to, what you are in, and where your true alignment is at. Clarify the High Priestess. What's this confirmation? Death in reverse. Why death in reverse under Temperance? Thank you, Divine. The Two of Pentacles. It's, you know what? You weren't ready for, okay, this was about readiness. And readiness from a spiritual perspective, not necessarily a mental one or an emotional one. Spiritually, you weren't ready to go through a transformation that was an alignment for you at that time. And I think the divine has recognized that and probably brought you through this misaligned path so that your spirit could get ready. And I think with Temperance and the Two of Pentacles, there's that need for faith in being sustained. Should you start doing the Three of Pentacles work and answer that judgment call to step into your Magician energy, what is for you out of this Four of Wands, whatever that aligned path is, will forge itself. But it can't forge itself if you're not doing the work. So yeah, the divine knew you weren't ready for something, which is why you've had to maybe take a detour But it's almost like you're seeing the detour, instead of, oh, this is my aligned path. It's like, oh, it's very clear that I'm on a detour. Like I'm actually not where I need to be, but I needed this to see what I need to see. Yeah. It's almost like that spiritual weight had to get a little heavier for the transformation that you're being called to actually be impactful for you. Yeah, gotta get the work done. 8 of Pentacles. Three of Swords, yeah. But that could be why you resisted it. Here's the thing. The divine isn't necessarily going to put you through anything that is going to break you beyond repair. However you were in, whatever state you were in, this Four of Wands showing up at that time would have probably broken something permanently. That's what I'm kind of getting with Death in reverse. Had you stepped into something, it might have caused permanent damage to where it could not have been repaired because you weren't ready for it. So this detour is getting you prepared. 8 of Pentacles with the 10 of Wands. The spiritual communication between your higher self and you and your awareness, your subconscious and your conscious mind is going to get louder this season. And hopefully, I guess the goal is to get you in that Page of Wands, this sense of optimism about your ability to do something. But it's almost like you might have resisted out of this 3 of Swords, out of some sort of fear. Show me 9 of Pentacles next to this 3 of Swords, divine. Justice. Your heart and mind was resistant to what your spirit was ready for. So with your heart and mind not in the right alignment with your spirit, something would have been permanently damaged had you been allowed to step into that 4 of Wands. And that's why the divine sent you on a spiritual detour, so that you can bring yourself into balance, mind, body, spirit, get into the 9 of Pentacles, so that the work that's meant to be done within this 4 of Wands can call out the right alignment or create something of, create what needs to be created from the proper energy. Sun. So you can experience joy, success, play. Yeah, the Hangman wants to fall out. Show me the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands. There's that expectation. So that what you thought you were going to get out of this detour, you actually receive from your alignment, from the aligned path, the divine plan that's at play here. It's like you needed to go through an extra little something so that you could actually align with your divine plan and do right by that plan and execute it. Thank you, divine. That's the word I'm looking for. And execute it properly. From the state you were in when that opportunity maybe showed up, or when you could have aligned with your divine plan, you would have messed it up. And that's okay. We all mess up things. That's not a judgment, but it would have, again, something permanent. Death in the upright feels more transient. It's a transition. Death reverse, permanent. So to avoid you creating permanent damage to yourself or to someone else or to something else, you were sent on that spiritual detour to bring yourself into balance. Okay, show me the Judgment next to this 3 of Wands, divine, for Taurus Geminis. Okay, 2 of Cups, yeah. Show me the Magician. Thank you. And the Queen of Wands. Yeah. and the Lovers. Yeah, so this definitely maybe is a relationship, partnership. This seems to be one that is more, definitely more spiritually based with all the wands out here. Your mind and your heart with that Three of Swords was creating spiritual resistance to something that was divinely meant for you, Taurus Gemini. And until you step into that Nine of Pentacles and balance out some sort of karma here with justice, or find your own balance with the truth, accept a particular truth, let go of that Three of Swords, receive the spiritual communication that you're getting with the Ten of Wands, do the work you're being called to do. Until all of that happens, then you couldn't step into this Four of Wands. You couldn't step onto your divine plan. That's why for some of y'all, you might be in a situation right now that's not aligned with you. And you, again, the contrast is loud. It's like something going from feeling like the right thing to do to being like absolutely clear it was wrong. But how do you then step forward towards what's right for you? That's, I guess, the question. So how does Taurus Gemini do that? If that's what they need to do. What needs to be done? The Fool? Yeah. Okay, that's confirmation. Yeah. You do need to get on a new timeline here, Taurus Gemini. Temperance with the the Hierophant. So now you got a high vibrational pair out here. You need, and I just said you need to step on a new timeline as the Hierophant, Taurus energy. Gemini as well. So that is you in your highest frequency. That's what you need to work towards. Now, Death in Reverse could also say that something's not over, right? That optimism I was tapping into earlier. It's not that it can't happen. It's just that road is a little heavier. That path to making it happen is a little bit more weighted than it could have been or it needed to be. Show me the Four of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles next to this Hierophant, Divine. Six of Wands, yeah. But if you are to apply yourself and really dig in, the Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy, Virgo season. You can get to your 9 if you really put in that work. You can have victory in attaining alignment with your divine plan or what was divinely assigned and meant for you. But it's gonna definitely take some focus and some dedication, okay? Show me the Page of Wands with the 10 of Wands next to the 6 of Wands. Yeah, a lot of fire out here. 2 of Wands. Oh my gosh, yeah. Especially with the Queen of Wands. So this could be a connection that you have to a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Scorp Sag would be your 7th house partner, Taurus Gemini. So someone could be on that cusp or have those placements in their chart somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. That's confirmation. That's the plan or the alignment that you need. Clarify the 7 of Wands with the 3 of Swords and this 2 of Wands. The Chariot, I can't make it up. That's double confirmation. This is about aligning with your destiny this season. You have an opportunity to do so if you take charge on it. If you actually do the work, Taurus Gemini. And I think with the High Priestess coming out in the Temperance, you know the exact work that your soul is calling you to. That's going to look different for everybody. But it's in this season of Virgo that you need to step into it so that you can bring justice for yourself. Balance and justice for yourself first and foremost. From that space of balance and justice within yourself, you then get to align with the 4 of Wands that's absolutely meant for you. And that was intended for you. Okay? Show me the 9 of Pentacles with Justice in the Chariot. What does that look like? The Star, the healing that you need to do. I cannot make it up. So again, there is hope for this situation, Taurus-Gemini. Don't rest on that though. Don't rest on, oh, well, you know, there's always going to be a door that's open. No. The hope is in the now moment. The hope is in the now season. The hope needs to be held on to, initiated, stood on, activated now. Not when you're ready, not when you're more comfortable, right now. If you want to be on and in alignment with your divine plan, if that is not in your heart and your soul, then disregard that. Then do what you keep doing. Okay, keep resisting it then if that's what you don't want. But if you truly want that, you want to feel that chariot, you want to be in that right side of judgment, you want that Four of Wands type of commitment and companionship with another soul, that Two of Cups, start getting very consistent in the work that you know you need to do. Okay? Show me the Three of Pentacles with the Three of Wands next to the star. Thank you. I cannot make it up. The Lovers. The love that you're expecting, anticipating, is within and on your divine plan. You cannot avoid your divine plan and get divinity. You understand? That's what I mean. It's like somebody thought that they were going to get something divine out of something, and it wasn't something that was supported by the divine, so the divine isn't going to show up in that situation, because that's not what your true alignment is. And you're not going to force the universe or force the divine to show up where they are not, where they aren't. Do you see what I'm saying? Some of y'all have divine partnership, and the love that you seek, I'm hearing the sensuality, all that pleasure, all of that you truly seek, that your soul is seeking out, is tied to your divine partner. Trying to force someone who is not your divine partner to give you that type of satisfaction in that connection is what has someone destitute and kind of like in the Three of Swords. What you want and desire exists on your divine path. So you have an opportunity here in Virgo season to get in alignment with it. And I don't know, with death in reverse, or permanently be severed from it. So again, you got to make a move. You got to make a choice. You got to make a decision, Taurus-Gemini. Okay? Right. Five of Wands. Because it feels like if you are in another connection, the challenges and the obstacles are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The contrast is going to get louder and louder and louder. It's not going to get better. There's no timeline where it does. Somebody needs to hear that. Someone might be holding out hope that something that they are misaligned with but still connected to is going to get better eventually. It's not. Because it's not in divine alignment with you. The divine isn't going to bless that or show up in that, because that's not what the divine ordained. And that's just it. And you can stay there. Again, you can stay there. You can live that out till the rest of your days. But it's very, very clear that the divine is not showing up in that partnership. So the judgment is just going to get louder and louder, and it's just going to be more Five of Wands, drama, challenge, obstacle, more and more and more and more and more, until you make the choice and decision to step into the timeline that you need to be on. Show me the Magician with the Queen of Rods. Yeah. The World in reverse. Right. With the Devil energy. You got to close out this lesson in this cycle, Taurus-Gemini. I think it's more or less a surrendering thing. You don't want to surrender because you feel like you can't control it. But what you're surrendering to is not trying to control you. It's trying to show you your power. But if you're more comfortable, and I mean, again, it's free will. You get to decide your path. Okay? Absolutely. Nobody's going to force you into anything. But using your free will always comes with consequences, whether for the good or for the bad. Okay? So your free will choice to not align with your divine path is going to come with its challenges. Just in the same way as aligning with your divine path will also have its challenges. But the challenges will strengthen you as opposed to weaken you. Somebody might be finding themselves in a very weakened state because of how far off their divine path they truly are. And that is going to be super clear in this season. Okay? What you do with that information is your choice. Choose wisely. But show me what this healing, though, is in this 10 of Wands, 3 of Swords that someone needs to carry in this energy. What does that look like? And what's the outcome of it? Right. Unseen help, support, and community. Right. So the divine is sending in people, energy, synchronicity, signs, messages, spiritual communication to you. The universe is talking to you. That's the help. That's the support to try to get you on your divine path. But again, should you choose to ignore it again or not take those steps, some of that divine support might fade away. Okay? What else? Thank you. Yeah, lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, soul call and gather, release the petals. Transformation, shedding, all change. Yeah. Your soul is calling you to come up out of some sort of misalignment, which is going to require transformation and shedding, but it's transformation and shedding that strengthens you, not weakens you. But maybe that's the mindset. Someone feels like they would be weak to surrender to that. If that's what you believe and think, that's what will be. Somebody has to shift their mindset for sure. Ancestral work, healing, and individuation. Exactly. There's work to be done. Especially you incarnate under this energy. You're the Hierophant. There's spiritual work to be done. There's ancestral work to be done. Can't run from that. And it almost feels like with the temperance that came back out with this high priestess, that could be the support in the community. Your ancestors are supporting or trying to support you in getting in alignment with your divine plan, getting on your divine timeline. You, though, have to stop resisting it. Just because you might not be able to fully control it, I think there's a control issue here. And that's okay. We all have them. That's not a judgment again. We all have control issues. Okay. It's just about being aware of it and having the courage and the strength to kind of put it aside. What else is healing in this energy for Taurus Gemini? Sacred waters, replenishment, health, and self-care. Yeah, that's how you bring yourself justice. Stop choosing things that deplete you and weaken you. When you make those choices and decisions, you're telling yourself that you don't care about you and your well-being. Caring about you and your well-being looks like the 9 of Pentacles, taking care of you, making sure that your garden, your stuff is all kind of solid, bringing in justice and balance for yourself. Nobody can do that for you. It's a self thing, self-care. Self-care also looks like I'm not going to stay in an environment or in a relationship or in a work environment or a family dynamic that does not support my mental health, that makes me feel like a shittier person or that drains me. That's also self-care. To say my stability within myself, my well-being is more important than that, than pleasing other people or sacrificing yourself for other people's needs in that way. Okay. What else is healing? Yeah, hidden in plain sight, learning and teaching. The work is hidden in plain sight. It's again, that contrast. It's going to be very clear where you're misaligned with something. What you do with that information is important. Yeah, creations realize, right time, and celebrate. If you can step into that awareness and realize it, it's the right time to get in alignment, okay? To step onto that new timeline. And again, I don't think you're going to regret it, but it's the fear of regretting it that could be keeping someone held back too. Yeah, attracting like a rose, receive and desire. You attract that support from the divine when you trust the divine. When you show that same kind of divine love and support for yourself. Sticking with things that you know is not good for you is not showing divine support and love for yourself. What that communicates to the universe is that you don't feel worthy and you don't care. So why would the divine give you something that needs to be cared for in a specific way when all your choices and decisions show that you don't give a fuck? Clarify? Yeah, stop the endless searching. Stop searching and start attracting. 9 of Pentacles. That's what Virgo season's trying to teach you, Taurus, Gemini. Sometimes you attract that alignment when you yourself get into alignment, as opposed to trying to search for someone to get you in alignment or who's already in alignment. You need to be aligned first. That's what attracts the alignment. But you staying out of alignment, but then expecting other people to be in alignment or be the alignment is where you're kind of missing the point. Or getting caught in a loop here. Yeah, healing is happening though. You're not broken. Trust the process. Exactly. Exactly. This is very normal, very natural, very human. Okay? Do not beat yourself up for struggling with this, okay? It's hard. It's absolutely hard, but it is worth it. And it can get easier. The hard part is just creating the rhythm with yourself. But once you get that flow with yourself, it just comes so naturally and easy. It becomes like a second language, that self-care. And being able to set boundaries and being able to discern what is in alignment and what's not. It just comes, it gets easier. But you gotta start. It can't happen if you don't start. Okay? Show me this ancestral work. What does the ancestral work look like for Taurus, Gemini in this energy? The crowning, yeah, initiation, thresholds, rebirth. You are here to initiate your blood into new frequencies, new realms, to do things that your ancestors did not do. That's the work. Okay? That's why you got to trust the process. You're not broken. You're just being realigned. Or there's just a need to realign. Thank you. Yeah, boundaries and clear communication. That's what someone needs to practice here. Setting proper boundaries, that's also self-care. Clearly communicating what you're in alignment with, what you like, what you don't like, what you expect, what you don't expect, like all of that. Being very clear is also self-care. Leaving things in the dark is not. It's going to leave too much room for people to do whatever. You need to have those boundaries. What you will and will not tolerate, but you also got to stand on it. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. You can't just say, oh, I'm not going to put up with that, and then you put up with it. That's confusing. You know what I mean? If you're not going to put up with something, don't put up with it. Literally. Cut it out, cut it off. No exceptions to that rule whatsoever. That's what it is. Some of y'all got to stand a little bit firmer. Hierophant energy, again, is your highest vibration. This is the law. This is the law that I'm creating for myself. I'm not going back on myself. That's also self-care. Not going back on your word. Not telling yourself, I'm never going to put myself through that again, and then putting yourself through it again. I'm not going to fall for that again, and then you fall for it again. That's not self-care. That's not self-love at all. And that's hard to practice. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not saying this like it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay? There's no lemon squeezy around this. This is hard work. But it's work that your soul is ready to do, Taurus, Gemini, and you just got to let yourself go through it. You got to trust this process. And again, I'm telling you got to, and that's just me trying to encourage you to step on that alignment, because I can sense it's going to be so beautiful for you. But again, you don't got to do anything you don't want to do. You have free will in this world. But when that contrast gets unbearable, remember this reading. Remember, okay? Don't act like nobody tried to encourage you to get on your alignment. And that's genuinely no one's responsibility but yourself, okay? But your own. Anyway, let's keep moving. Yeah, I can't make it up. Divine plan, wisdom, and destiny. Your divine plan, the divine wisdom, and your divine destiny is hidden in plain sight. You have to learn how to see it. That is discernment, spiritual vision, okay? And you got to also learn how to be the student. Not always the teacher. Sometimes you got to be the student. And I feel like that's what someone's struggling with, being the student again. That's okay. That's okay. Especially when you've had to learn so much already. Going through another learning process could be like exhausting. But it is a part of your destiny. What's this creation realize? What's the right timing? Yeah, potential. It's happening. Keep going. You could really see some beautiful spiritual progress. Should you take advantage of the precision of Virgo season? The precision and just kind of the structure that Virgo energy offers us. Get precise with it. Okay? Pinpoint. That's what it is. Virgo season is going to help you pinpoint the contrast. Because maybe in other seasons it was hard to kind of figure out and see. In Virgo season, it's going to be so clear that it might even be annoying. And that's fine. Be annoyed. Be annoyed at that. But let that annoying kind of clarity motivate you to do what you need to do. So that it doesn't have to be annoying anymore. It can actually be pleasurable. You might actually enjoy it. Okay. Period. But I'm going to leave it there. Taurus-Gemini, I really do hope that this message serves you well, gave you whatever clarity, confirmation, maybe a little bit of healing and a little truth that you needed to get you through Virgo season. Whatever resonated with you from this message, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. Go ahead and drop me a comment. We also have a sanctuary code here at Cusp of Roses. You can drop any rose emoji to show gratitude. You can drop your favorite heart color to show some love for the message to me as well. I appreciate it. And if anything really kind of struck you in your heart and your spirit and your soul, drop that lightning bolt, okay? So that I know you're connected to this message. And if you're just tuning in, enjoying the vibes, just appreciating the messages as they come, even if it doesn't fully resonate with you, you can drop a candle down below to hold space for those who might actually connect with this message, okay? It's a beautiful way for you to just let me know that you were here. It really does help me as a reader to know who I'm connecting to. So go ahead and drop those comments or drop those emojis. And make sure you also check out the description box, okay? The August cusp love and astrology readings are available for individual purchase on my shop. It is lifetime access, so once you purchase the digital download, you will always have access to that reading through that confirmation email. Even if you lose the PDF, you can always re-download it, okay? And that'll be forever, literally forever. So if you want access, though, to all 24 messages every month, you can join the Sacred Rose membership tier on my store. Come August 31st. The bundle discount for both the astrology and love readings for each cusp will be permanently going away, and all the individual readings will be locked in the vault. So they won't be available for individual sale again. You'll have to join the store membership to get access, okay? So make sure you grab your lifetime access now before the 31st. So you don't lose out on that, okay? And I love you all, and shout out to everybody who already has. I appreciate you. If you want personal readings with me, again, all of that is linked down below, and the many different ways that you can nurture our sanctuary. All right, I love you all so very much, and I do again hope this was helpful. I'll see you next season. Namaste.